Hello insiders, welcome back. Today I want to talk about two things specifically. One on SYRA, which was one of our top gainers today by far, had one of the best catalysts I've probably seen in a really long time. So I definitely want to dive into that just a little bit more on this $75 billion government contract. Government contracts are the best. If it's in real life and you have a SMB and you just landed a government contract, you're going to be doing pretty good. And just like with stocks, when they land a government contract, it's good. And this was a $75 billion one on a tiny stock. And the other thing I want to talk about relates to getting to those new record profits. If it's $1,000, $3,000, or $10,000 a day, how do we get to those? Because oftentimes it's not always about the easy big trades, the big wins. More often the focus is actually on managing your risk and not giving back too much profits. That's what we talked about in, I think it was yesterday's video, but it could have been the video before that, where numerous times I'm up on the day, I don't take profits, and I give back a little bit of money. So oftentimes trading isn't that hard. You just need to not become your own worst enemy. The easiest way I like to do that is limiting my trade time, because oftentimes for like 60 minutes, 90 minutes, we're really focused and then we get a little bit sloppy. And when you start feeling that, that's usually a bit of a writing on the wall. I also want to talk about a few more writings on the wall that you can look for, and I think SYRA is a perfect ticker for that. To start out, let's go to SYRA and look at some of the fundamentals on this ticker. So nice 2 million float and an 82 million market cap right now. And this ticker, went up almost 1,000% pre-market before pulling back a little bit and kind of consolidating there since then. But look at this, 4 hours ago, SYRA announces partnership for a federal contract valued at $75 billion. So that is an insane news. That is a really good catalyst. Government contracts or a contract with a larger company like small cap working with Google or something are two of my favorite catalysts. The other thing would be maybe like a biotech getting a phase 3 approval or a fast track designation or something really, really good. So this is really up there as one of the best catalysts. And when I saw this ticker pop up, hats off to Toby for calling it out first in our Discord. I was like, this is looking really good. One thing I didn't notice though right away is the dilution. It had registered warrants. So a lot issued there with an exercise price that we succeeded. So there could be warrants and new shares being diluted. That was my only red flag on this ticker. And I think that's exactly what happened to it, because it did see a lot of dilution. We'll see in the charts in a second. Let's go over to my live recording on SYRA and show you guys the speed behind this ticker. So this one pops up. It's like roughly a little bit over $1 and it just rips up to 575. I get a first trade on it, then I realize I'm not recording. So the first trade you guys won't see. Now my goal is to buy off the whole or $0.50, so 450, 550, and I'm looking for that move back over 6. I am a little bit sketched out though because it's super extended, so you can see me over managing my trades a little bit. Shame on me for that, because right now I was risking dollars to make pennies, so a little bit over trading right there without a question. And this one actually starts pumping higher for the move over 6. So that probably could have put me well over, $1,000 or $1,500 on the day right there, especially if I held for that move. And this one just really keeps ripping. It's absolutely crazy how strong this ticker is. And I don't actually get another trade in for a little bit. And it has a short consolidation phase and rips up again. So we just went from $1 to $10 super quick. This was just mind-blowing to see this kind of action. I do like those first initial pullbacks right here when we don't have a new break lower. So I go for a quick pullback here as well, looking for maybe move back over 10, but I decided to get a little bit scalpy on it, which is fine. Make another $100+ right there on that trade. So that's kind of my goal. Look for that move higher. When this one actually closed higher, I wasn't the biggest fan. Sometimes I like to see those quick moves lower and a quick move higher. But at this point, the easy trades are behind us. I typically like to try to trade those really clean initial front sides. So right now I am giving back a little bit of profit. And here you can see I almost gave back everything. So one big lesson that I could share with you guys today, and this is something that I know, but every now and then I make this mistake. I overcomplicate trading because trading doesn't have to be that difficult, but I'll get a little bit antsy and do some over trading, and it's often on a ticker that's a little bit tricky. It's either moving too fast, it's wicking in both directions, it's not a smooth sailing front side. And when I notice that I'm a little bit uncomfortable on a ticker, or I'm starting to, make a quick profit and then give it right back, make a quick profit, give it right back, that's usually a really good sign for me to go ahead and wrap up on that ticker, because more times than not, I'll start tripping over myself. So if I'm green on that ticker, like SYRA, it's probably a good time to call it, just because it's really easy to give back profit. So sometimes I'll be up 1,000, I'll give it back, and I make 1,000 again right away, right? So at that point where I make it right back, that's usually a good time to be like, hold up, this is kind of a sketchy ticker, or I'm trading it really poorly, so something has to change. And typically walking away from that ticker is usually the best way to go, or really sizing down. I'm not trying to size down right now, so I'd probably go for that first option of walking away. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Let me know in the comments below if I could clarify that a little bit more. So going forward here, I do like the setup. I like the fact that we have 9 EMA support here. It pops up a little bit again, and I'm basically back to where I was at 760. I was up a little bit more at one point, but I just realized in my head, oh man, that was really sloppy. I just, made 1,000 and lost 1,000 and made it back. So this is the point where I should have took a step back, realized, okay, we got, another 19 minutes before the market opens. Let me take a breather here and get situated, because I just got pretty lucky. And it's important to know when you're trading if you're getting lucky or if you're really nailing a ticker and you're in the flow. And in this specific case on SYRA, I was lucky, and I knew that. So if you want to make trading easy, take a breath every now and then, take a step back, literally physically take a step back, because it helps you when you have a bird's eye view and gives you a little bit more of perspective, and be like, how do I feel right now, and what am I doing right and wrong right now? Am I in the flow on this ticker, or am I just getting lucky? So there's another small win. So let's forward here a bit more. Now this is really sketchy. We're having that front side, but it's getting a little bit hairy. We already had a failed breakout. So at this point, I probably should not be trading this ticker anymore, but I'm getting a little bit greedy here. I'm looking for that pop higher. So remember, trading doesn't have to be hard. Most of the reason trading gets hard is because we're over trading, or we're getting greedy, and we're trying to do things that we shouldn't be doing. And oftentimes we know when we're doing that. And today was really a good example of that. So here, I typically never want to trade backside. What am I doing? I'm looking to trade this one backside, because I think, hey, maybe it's going to pull back a little bit below 6 and then rip up higher again. So I'm coming up with all these ideas that are not true to my strategy, which is a clear indicator of me over trading. I'm just really happy I can share this with you guys. Trading doesn't have to be hard. Often we just make it hard for ourselves. So going forward here a little bit, I'm looking for that whole $half mode around 550. This is a total catching a falling knife move on a ticker that just went up basically 1,000%. Really, really risky, not something I should be doing. So again, clear sign, I am over trading, and here I got lucky, and here I'm getting unlucky. So I'm not really in the flow on this ticker. And that's a really, really important lesson. So no matter how good a catalyst is on a ticker, this is the part where there's probably a lot of dilution coming in. People are selling, the warrants are being sold, shareholders are being diluted, and right now I'm just catching a falling knife, and this actually gets worse and worse because I don't force this exit like I should. So it goes down a little bit more, and instead of cutting my losses, I actually size down, which is really not a smart idea on a backside move, because right now you are just riding a reverse breakout, basically a breakout to the downside. And if I wanted to buy this, probably around this major daily support zone would be the place to buy it, but I actually ended up stopping out there. Really, really bad move, and the price does actually bounce back up a little bit. Guess who's not in it at this point? So that was a really, really good summary of easy come, easy go. And if you feel like, wow, I just got really lucky on that trade, it's probably because you did get lucky, and you shouldn't keep trading it until maybe you're back on the flow on it, you're watching it for 30 minutes, and you're like, okay, I've did a few mental trades on it, it's working out again, or I sized down and it's working out, but not right away again when you're already in that high emotional state. So that was my big mistake today, without a question, on a ticker with a really good catalyst, which I should have been green on much, much more. Now, earlier this week, we came out with a video called Red to Green Moves. I think it was yesterday's video, and it was all about tickers pulling back a little bit in the open, usually around 6%, a bit of a morning panic, and then ripping higher. So on the daily, it goes red on the day. Right now, it's roughly about break even on a day. It goes red, you buy, and it rips higher. So this is what I'm planning to do on HKIT. And by being patient after that catastrophe with SYRA earlier pre-market, this one allows me to get back green on the day. So here you can see it. I did miss my entry. I should have been going green a little bit earlier, but I didn't like the flush. So I'm a little bit overly patient, and I miss the actual entries. This one does pop a little bit higher. And what I do right is I don't chase this one too much buying near the highs, because this is a really wicky ticker, and typically wicky tickers you don't want to be chasing buying near the highs. So I buy this one low, looking for that move back to 6.5. I do take my profits fairly quick, just because a lot of these tickers today are not holding. So a lot of things at the open were not holding, so I decided to take my profits fairly quickly. This was a pretty nice trade. Overall, really happy about it. And if I waited with SYRA, if I realized, hey, I got really lucky, I made $1,000 on this one, let me be really careful, I could have waited till the market opened, found this nice move on HKIT, and been up well over $1,000 on the day. Instead, I was a little bit eager beaver, and I did not listen to myself. So coming back to SYRA, this is a little bit painful here. Me over trading a ticker that I don't have flow on. So a big lesson, guys. Trading doesn't have to be difficult, but when you start doing things like this, it becomes unnecessarily difficult. So I buy a pullback, which is kind of dangerous because the pullbacks on this ticker are very unforgiving, and I actually bought it too high. So you'll see here, the second I enter this trade, I'm already red. And typically trades that I'm instantly red on are typically not my best trades. So I'm down quite a bit on this ticker. Usually if I was trading a smaller size, I would be scaling down right here, looking for that move back to 6, but I just don't. I just have too big size, and I have to cut it right now, because if this dips below 450 and into the 4s, I am really screwed. I would be flying past my max loss. So there it is. I'm right around my max loss on that trade. Lo and behold, it actually does what I wanted it to do, but I wasn't on any flow on this ticker. And here it is now. I got a few more trades in SYRA. I actually made a little bit here on this backside, made back half my losses, and then gave it back again. So it was just a constant iteration of the same theme. I would make some money, I would lose some money. I would make some money, I would lose some money. And that happens every now and again on a certain ticker, and it's totally fine. It's just the important part is noticing when that's happening, and when you get lucky and you're green, I would just take it and walk away. It's something that I've experienced over many, many years, and oftentimes I'm able to control it really well. Today, I think that catalyst got me a little bit excited. I didn't step away quick enough. So next time you're in that position, remember to tell yourself, hey, don't make trading harder than it has to be. Understand if you're on a flow on a ticker or if you're just getting lucky, and adjust your trading accordingly. So for today, we have a little bit of a setback here, down 940. I'm not worried, we're sizing up, and I know we have some big green days ahead of us. Yesterday was a 1K profit day, and really being break even in the last 2 days with this crazy action, it's a little bit unreliable. I'm pretty happy. Obviously, you always want to have big green, but you have to realize most trading days are break even days. They're just watching and observing. Remember not to get bummed out about red days. They make us better traders. It's all about learning a lesson and applying it a little bit better next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in and dropping that like. I'll see you next time.